Hello and welcome to this short introduction to using Cashbook closures. Closures are very useful for accommodations with multiple receptionists, and it will be used when they are changing shifts. Let's take a closer look. Closures can be found under Payments, Closure. After clicking, this is what you see. This tab contains a list of all closures you've created in the past. We will start with creating a new closure, which will explain the information in the table here. Click on this button to create the closure. This will happen when your first receptionist's shift is done and he is being replaced by the second receptionist, which has just arrived. During the first shift, reception received payments for reservations and also payments for a delivery service. Also, some guests bought snacks at reception. Your receptionist creates the closure and passes the reception duty to the second receptionist. Every receptionist can have their own account which he uses to log in under his name. First is the person who creates the closure. Then we have the date of the closure. Then we can select who is taking over at reception. All transactions during the first shift were recorded in our system, and if we calculate all cash transactions, we should have a precise amount of money in all of our used currencies. Before the first receptionist leaves, he has to calculate the total amount of money he really has in the cash book at reception and compare it with the automatically calculated amount in our system. For this, we have the middle part with cash calculations. The first row is the amount of cash you should have, which is a calculation of all cash transactions from the last closure. This calculates both income and expenses and also currency exchange transactions. Cash actual is how much physical cash is in the cash register. The amount the first receptionist calculated at the end of his shift in each currency. This number must be inserted manually. The automatically calculated amount will be compared to the actual amount of cash in the cash register. The difference can be positive, negative, or there can be no difference, which is of course preferred. The remaining part of the window is just a total sum of credit card payments and bank transfers from the system. These payment methods do not have a current balance because it wouldn't make sense, so these numbers are just an overview. At the bottom we also have all changes in stock from the last closure. We can save the closure, print it, and we will receive this PDF file. Now the first receptionist should log out and the second one should log in and start with his reception duty. After the receptionist is finished, he should also create a closure and pass the reception to the next person in the same way, and the circle would go on until the hotel closes or it goes bankrupt. There are two reasons for closures. First is checking the cash balance, if your calculated cash income matches the physical cash in the register. The second function of closures is the fact that they lock all transactions during a closed period. If you go to the payments section, for example in Cashbook, you can see some payments are locked by this icon. The same goes for documents. If you try to delete a document, you'll see that you can't because it is locked as it is connected to a closure. If you still need to adjust or erase the document, you can delete the entire closure. The lock will then disappear. If you want to use this function effectively, you shouldn't allow your receptionists to delete closures. All you need to do is limit their user role permissions. And that's all for today. Thanks again for joining us.